welcome everybody to CareSmarts 360 on air, home care podcast. I'm Dennis Gill, senior sales consultant at CareSmarts. And today, we've got a very special guest joining us, Cesar Gonzalez, the owner of Home Helpers Home Care of Canton, Georgia, a senior care franchise. Cesar, it's great to have you here. I'm really excited to learn more about your work and the services you provide to older adults in your community. So, as the owner of a senior care franchise, I'm sure you've got a wealth of knowledge and experience to share. I'm always fascinated to hear the personal stories behind the business owners and entrepreneurs and look forward to picking your brain about the best ways to help seniors maintain their independence and quality of life as they age. So, this is such an important topic, and I know our listeners are going to find your insights really valuable. So, let's get started. I'm all ears. So, welcome, first of all, Cesar. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Dennis. It's great being here, and thank you for having me.
Perfect. Same to you, same wise. All right. So let's quickly start this podcast. My first question for you. Can you tell us a bit about your philosophy when it comes to serving your clients and their families?
Yes, absolutely. It's in service, it's always very important to keep in mind that your product is actually what your caregivers or other employees are doing in front of the clients.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's very important to, first of all, select the correct caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
And this starts with hiring process that I oversee.
Okay.
And what we're looking for in that hiring process is selecting and hiring the caregivers that truly care. We are
Got
looking for comments like, this is my passion. I do this work because it's my calling, or I enjoy helping people. To me, that's very important, right? You can teach many things, you can train caregivers to do many things,
yeah.
but one thing that you can never teach or train is to actually care and have a passion for what you do. So for us, it starts with that step. We also have systems in place,
Mm-hmm.
and those systems allow us to review the care plan with the caregivers and
Okay.
see every step of the process during a typical caregiver's day. For example, they clock in. We know when they clocked in. If they clocked in, late, we know about that.
Yeah.
The clock out, we know about it. And then we also see the tasks that are being completed throughout the day. So that's very important because we can provide feedback in basically live. In a matter of minutes, we know that something is not going well or something is going well, and we can say, "Hey, thank you for doing this for our client," right?
Got it.
Um, and then I think the last part of this question, I would like to say everything that you do every day is reflected in the level of service that you provide to a client. You know that a company cares for you when um, the owner or someone in the staff goes and picks up a caregiver that's at their home because their car broke
Yeah.
and drives them to a client's house. Or you know that a company cares when the owner shows up any given day to provide care because the caregiver was sick, right? So
Yeah.
it's just really caring about the clients in general is very important.
Got it. Got it. So two things. What I learned from this is one is the hiring is the key, and second is the personal caring. Yep. So these are two things which our listeners can learn about that. Second thing that I want to know from you is how do you and your team work to tailor your services to meet the specific needs and preferences of each individual client?
So, it starts with a care plan. We provide free consultation to our clients or potential clients,
Mm-hmm.
and we go to their home. We ask. certain questions that are important to create a care plan that is personalized for their needs.
Got
But
it.
at the same time, we're gathering other information. For example, what do they like to do? Do they like to put puzzles together? Do they like to go shopping? Some of them may like gardening, right? What's their
Yeah.
hobby? And just learning their background, what they did before they started needing care. And just knowing those details is important because we learn similar details when we're interviewing our caregivers.
Hmm.
And when our caregivers tell us, I love gardening, well, we know we have a match, right? And we know
Yeah.
that caregiver is going to be perfect for the client that likes gardening.
That likes happening. Yeah.
So we just, we try to make it, uh, personal for us, and we try to make it fun for the clients to have someone in their house giving them companionship and care.
Got it. So the skills and attributes that your clients are looking for, and that matches the criteria that your caregivers have. Perfect. Bang
Exactly.
on. Okay, next thing. What strategies have you found out to be most effective for keeping everyone informed and on the same page? What's your say on that?
Yeah. That's a very good question, and a really important one. I've
Hmm.
always believed throughout my career that communication is key to
Okay.
delivering good service, but also simply put, communication is key for success of any business. Um, in care, in healthcare, it is even more important because any changes in conditions need to be communicated immediately.
Yep.
At the same time, you have to be careful because of confidentiality, right? We need to maintain confidentiality of the client. So we use software to help us every day,
Hmm.
um, especially when it comes to messaging. We do text messaging through a software that protects confidentiality and is HIPAA certified.
HIPAA service. Yeah.
Um, and so we do this to maintain constant communication between clients, office staff, and caregivers.
Okay.
Um, and we do the same for the care plan. If there is any update on the client's care plan,
Hmm.
we update it in our system and we communicate it immediately to our caregivers. So they actually have to review the new care plan, sign it electronically, and acknowledge that they've reviewed it.
Okay. I get the point. Communication is the key, listeners. So, as you heard from Caesar's mouth, and the next thing that I would like to ask you is somewhat linked to the previous question, that what are some of the ways you and your staff work to establish that sense of trust and rapport with your clients? One thing is communication that you already told. Anything that you want to add on that?
Absolutely. I think I learned this one very quickly when I started the business.
Okay.
In one of the first calls I had with a referral with a potential client, I overpromised.
Oh, okay.
And you learn that I told the client, yes, I can be there tonight with my register nurse, and at
Hmm.
the end of the day we couldn't make it on time.
Oh,
And so you learn very quickly that to gain people's trust is you need to be very, very transparent on what you can or cannot do,
yeah.
and don't overpromise. As a first step, you have to say, okay, this is what I'm going to try to do. Let me get back to you and confirm that I can actually do it. Honesty, transparency is the first step for building in a relationship. And then after that, I think being a good listener is
Hmm.
key. When somebody's telling you, anything really, you have to listen and you have to be empathetic and you have to be actively listening and understanding their point of view. I think those two steps are key to begin a relationship with the right food. After that, obviously, you can uh,
Sorry.
tell a little bit about your story and why you're doing what you're doing, why you have this company, and so on. But at the end of the day, it starts with listening and building that trust.
Got it. I feel empathy is very important in your line of business, and listening and over-promising, that I can say it goes with every field. I've been into the sales for many, many years. I know when I started my career, over-promising, it does take a little bit of points in starting off your career, but I know it should not be done. But everybody learns step by step. You're aware about that.
Right.
Okay. So one last thing. What advice would you give to other senior care franchisee owners who are looking to really hone in on a customer-centric approach? Very important.
Yeah. I think I would actually say, as you grow your business, keep keep in mind what you used to do when you were new.
Yeah.
um, because when you're new, you tend to do more things. You tend to go more out of your way to make the clients happy, and maybe as customers, or as I'm sorry, as companies grow, they lose that sense of being close to a client or listening to clients directly. So just keep that mindset of entrepreneurship, and keep that mindset of treating your clients as if they were the most important part, each and every single client as if they are the most important part of your business. um, Technology, I would say, can also help in this sense. If you can automate tasks that are not customer or client centric,
Mm-hmm.
do that, because as an owner, you want to be focusing on the client, period, right? You don't want to be wasting time, doing finances or something else, when you can be focusing on growing your business through that client or customer service.
Got it. So not taking granted your clients, that's the best thing. Listeners can take a note of that. So that was pretty insightful. Thanks a lot, Cesar, for sharing your expertise with us. And to our lovely audience, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Dennis Gill, signing off. Thank you, everybody.